United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. You got after student of the month.
London, you want to join me up here in the front by this gray backdrop? You know who I am, London? I'm Ava's dad, that's right. Who'd you bring with you tonight?
My mom and dad.
Okay. Do you know why you're here? Yeah, do you know why? Should we read and find out? All right. So your teacher, Mrs. Lowry over here, wrote this, so I'm going to read that if I could. It has been my pleasure and blessing to have London in class this year. She is an exemplary third grader. She is very kind and caring. She is a great helper in class to both the teacher and her classmates. London comes in every morning ready to give her best effort on any given classwork or assignment. London always has a genuine compliment to give and a smile to make you feel good. It is my honor to choose London for Student of the Month. Respectfully, Mrs. Lowry. That's pretty great to give a smile to everyone in the morning. Sometimes we just need that smile to get us through our day, don't we? I appreciate that. So I have this award here for you. It says the West Central School Board of Trustees is pleased to present this award for outstanding achievement based on citizenship, service, contributions to others, and the pursuit of academic excellence to you, London. So that's yours to keep. I'm also going to give you this. That way you can have your mom and dad hang that up somewhere maybe. We also have a little goodie bag here. So I'll let you look at that. There's some pretty neat things in there. All right. Thanks, London.
Good work.
If you'd like to, you can stay, but if not.
We got 3 other kiddos that are rummaging around us, their grandparents.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, guys.
Very much.
You too.
See you guys.
All right. Public comment, is there any?
I was asked to share some of the things that have been going on with my employment as well as my health. September the 9th of 2024, I was diagnosed with MS. On September the 11th, I was told that the school preparation was here for me. A letter to the board that all but Heather received in July. I was not given any response from that letter. I was also asked that it be placed in my personnel file and that I have a written response, neither of which were taken care of. There has been no let up in the stress level here at West Central since my diagnosis, some of which have been created by both the challenge of administrative changes as well as leadership style. It's hard to read and shake at the same time. Casey Lowry has been diagnosed with relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis, which causes significant functional limitations despite ongoing disease-modifying therapy. The primary symptoms affecting her work performance may include fatigue. Fatigue affects up to 90% of people with MS and is described as the most disabling symptom of nearly half the patients. This is not simply tiredness, but rather a profound lack of physical and mental energy that significantly impacts functioning and quality of life. Cognitive impairment occurs in 30 to 45% of patients, which affects processing speed, working memory, and episodic memory. Stress sensitivity. Physiological stress is associated with a doubling of relapse rates in MS patients and predicts increased MRI disease activity. Major stressful events predict a 1.77-fold increase risk of new lesions. I requested accommodations in January. They are medical necessity. These accommodations are medically necessary to enable Ms. Lauer to perform the essential functions of her teaching position while managing a chronic neurological condition. The accommodations address documented functional limitations related to fatigue, cognitive impairment, and stress sensitivity, all which are well-established manifestations of multiple sclerosis. Without these accommodations, Ms. Lowry is at increased risk for worsening fatigue that impairs work performance and quality of life, cognitive decline affecting teaching effectiveness, increased disease activity, and relapses triggered by workplace stress, potential disability progression. While I appreciate those accommodations that have been put into place, I still only have 2 mornings a week that I have a break, and the fatigue of 19, 20 students at a time is very demanding for more than 2 hours at a time. Struggling through the adjustment of being thrust back into a full class and realize my stress and fatigue have not been supported. I requested accommodations in the workplace. While I'm appreciative of what I haven't been implemented, the ones that are only partially supported are perpetuating a lot of stress and fatigue. I have been told many times that we can't do anything for you that we wouldn't do for anybody else, and I don't understand why West Central can't treat people with kindness and compassion. I understand that there's a contract and I understand that there are things, but we're also in a position that if the accommodations are too disruptive, the school cannot implement them as all. So that leaves me with 2 mornings a week that I have a 20-minute break and 3 that I do not. I've been asked to propose a solution. The problem seems to come back to a lack of staff flexibility and a schedule that has been changed so many times at the elementary school that there's not any ability to receive support in this area. While those concerns relate to accommodations, I would also address that you as a board, before your next contract, need to look at your sick leave bank portion of the contract. It may have been implemented at a time of more common sense and compassion, but it appears that a letter from a specialist in neurology is not enough for 180-day sick bank leave request for help to get to the end of the year. So if there's some more documentation that needs to be in that process, or if that process itself needs to be looked at, but I know that you get into HIPAA and privacy pretty quickly too. So those things would need to be addressed. I appreciate you listening this evening. I do have copies of the letter if you need my letter from my neurologist as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? None. I need a motion to approve the agenda. Second.
So moved.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? No. I need a motion to approve the minutes from last month, March 5th, 2006.
I'll second it.
Second, thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay. Need a motion to approve requisitions, 26074 to 26092.
I so moved, Mr. President.
Stotts, I need a second.
That's second.
Dennis?
There are there's not many large items. There's this elementary books for Scholastic for $2,243.41. And then further down, third from the bottom, is a requisition for sports coat from Rush Enterprises for $5,928.75. This is for wax for the gym floors. So the custodians each summer will re-strip and re-wax all the floors. Well, not re-strip the gym floors, but we were gonna apply the wax to the floors.
On the elementary, the books, is that library books or is that classroom books?
That's from Fund 2038, so that's coming out of PACE. I believe it's a PACE grant. So we buy books. PACE is the Pulaski Alliance for Community Education. And so each year, the last couple of years, Mike has written a grant, elementary writes a grant, and we're awarded monies for books to put in the front office for students when it's their birthday. Also for when students get books for Christmas. So there's books that are of that nature. Books for kindergarten roundup, muffins with mom, Title I. So yeah, it could be lots of different pieces for student books.
Okay, any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Need a motion to approve the personnel report.
That motion. I'll
Second.
second that, Mr. President.
Any discussion?
Have some recommendations for summer school. I have 3 of them. So we have 2 elementary teachers and 1 high school teacher. We have a request for a reduction in the contract for next year per request for their request, which I would recommend. We have some separations listed appropriately. Have a couple retirements. Last time we had Lisa Marlatt, who submitted her retirement. This month we have SD Schultz, who will be retiring at the end of the school year. Desiree and Marlon Supremo are at the end of their 2-year, they're not 2-year, but they've up to at least once. Their time with us, they need to return to the Philippines. They were on a cultural exchange, so they need to go back for 2 years. Just like Jerry Lou and Desiree did 2 years ago, went back to their home country. So we wish them the best of luck. We're gonna miss both of them very much. They've done a great job when they've been here. They're leaving quickly after the beginning of the school year. Any questions?
Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Need a motion for the West Central School Corporation 401A proposal.
And I can explain a little bit about that. So when we had negotiation, I have a letter that I wrote that just kind of explains, but last fall during negotiations, one of the provisions included the creation of a 401A plan for the 2026-2027 school year. The provision is that next year, school corporations shall contribute 0.5% of a teacher's salary into that 401A. It's going to replace the provision now that the teachers are given $750 after 15 years and then $50 for each year. So a committee of teachers and administrators reviewed the proposal. So once again, this was put out for bid. I had an attorney from Church, Hibble and Antrim, John Becker, help draft the posting for the newspapers. And he actually sent it to some individuals or companies that he knew. And so I had 4 proposals that came back, one from HUB, HEB, Horace Mann Financial Partners, which is in Knox, and Equitable. So what the process was, we had a committee of 4 or 5. We got together and used a rubric based on what we had listed in our documents. They adhered to mandatory requirements, gave them points for their quality of their proposal, technical proposal, and then their cost, and then rated them accordingly. And so our committee would like to recommend the financial partners as our 401A awarded vendor. They currently are our 403B vendor. They've been very responsive to us. They come at least once a year to meet with people. They will meet with anybody who signs up. If someone wants to reach out, they'll be more than happy to work with them. They've just been very responsive. We also have other vendors that we've used, like Horace Mann and some others that we never see representative at all. So that would be our recommendation as financial partners as our 401A provider.
I make that motion.
All right. Thanks, Dennis. Thanks, Karen.
I'll second
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Need a motion to approve Indiana, or West Central Indiana online contract renewal.
So moved, Mr. President.
it. This is our first full year of using the Indiana Online Academy. As you recall, Mike gave us information last spring about this, about trying and going very slowly into the deep water. I believe we only have one student now. Is that correct?
For the semester. Grant one for semester.
So I think it's been successful. Do you have any?
These four are successful. I just checked on them again this week. Well, 3 or 4. So,
Are they completely online?
um,
Are they coming here at all?
one is coming for 2 periods first thing in the morning for band and algebra, and the other 3 are fully online. The one fully plans to return again in the fall after her medical stuff is resolved.
Like, does their full state tuition come with them?
We get the state, yeah, does 85% for virtual school. And so then we only pay Indiana Online per course that they take. So it doesn't cost us anything if we don't have students enrolled.
When does that process start for next year? Like, when do people say, say they're interested in it? Is that happening yet or not?
We've had a couple conversations already that they're looking into it, just asking for some information in the fall. And probably at least one of the 4 will probably renew to continue that way. We had getting that student back. He left to go to another online school and then came back to ours. So it's not usually the individual conversations that word of mouth a little bit they've gotten out there that it's available, or a couple of the medical ones I approached them as an option to do that.
Very good. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Need a motion for the West Central Facility Use Contract revision.
I would make that motion.
Also,
We've had discussion previously about talking about Sunday events. And so on the back of the first page, item number 7 has been added. So that Sunday events shall start no earlier than 1 p.m. and end no later than 10 p.m. That's the only change.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Need a motion for administrator assistant agreement. Superintendent evaluation.
So moved, Mr. President.
Stella, I have a second.
The board has been interested in talking administrator assistants. They were going to be here they were going to do a work session to talk about this, but they were unable to attend today. So we'll kind of push that off till next month to have a work session. But this is just an agreement that kind of sets forth what they're willing to do or able to do. Yes, yes. If the board is still interested
Yeah,
in moving forward.
yeah.
with it,
Any discussion on that? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Same sign. I need a motion to accept the bids of the middle high school roof damage repair. I've made that motion.
I'll second the motion.
Jay?
Talk for a minute.
Yep.
As you know, February 19th, we had a hailstorm that just did not stop. And I'd say 100%, 99.9% of all vehicles were in the parking lot had hail damage, unfortunately. It just kept coming, and as a result, our roof at the high school and our outbuildings sustained damage. So we did have a roofing contractor. The one we've been using is Century. Century came and did our elementary roof. They won the project when we did the construction project last spring. They've been the one that we've used for several years. They've done our roofs. So Jamie reached out to them to let them come and do an evaluation. We also had our insurance company come and do the visual check. They brought someone from Newman Construction who also kind of looked at both roofs, all of the outbuildings, that kind of thing. And so they decided that the high school roof, absent the middle school section, the middle school section should be fine, but the whole high school roof, gyms, canopies, walkway, new canopy has damage. So I don't know this, I've not been up on the roof, on the new canopy to know what it looks like, but I'm sure there's probably dings of it. And so in talking with the insurance company, they've said, we have the option of potentially not replacing some of the outbuilding roofs. However, if there's a loss later, they're not going to fully cover it because it's already sustained some kind of damage. So they kind of encourage us to pursue fixing everything that was out there. They've been very good so far. It's Liberty Mutual's our new insurance carrier. So the insurance adjuster came, like I said, with Newman Construction, went up on the roof. They were here for a good part of the day, checking the roofs, but the high school roof has divots that are definitely there in different spots. So you can go a little ways, not see anything, and then you go a little ways and you can see them all over the way. Jamie said the other day when he was up there after it rained, right before noon, you could just see them, they just kind of popped up. So we've had some leaks in this building, in the the weights room. There's been starting to have some leaks in the welding area, welding shop areas is experiencing leaks. Those areas don't have a lot of insulation. They're kind of open up to the ceiling a little bit. So I think he's really worried. I think I am too, that it's if that's in that area, it's just a matter of time before it starts showing up in other spots. So it's probably soaking into the insulation as a deft essence to get it replaced. Because we knew it was going to be probably over $300,000, we needed to put it out to bid. Is there any laws about forbidding projects if it's over $300,000, you're supposed to bid it out? So I reached out to John Becker again and asked him, do you have a posting you'd give me for posting this in newspapers? So he gave me the posting. I had the insurance company work up a scope of work about what needed to be replaced. They gave a nice visual to go with that. So it was put online, it's still online, you can look at it. It was put in the newspaper, it was advertised 2 times, and they were due Monday. Bids were due Monday. We had one bid from Century Roofing. It's the bid you have. The total price of just the high school area with the main roof, full tear off to the deck, right now is $1.695 million. So we're like roughly $1.7 million. There are also there's also an option, probably the 3rd page in, of the alternates for outbuildings. For example, elementary pavilion, which is that little covered area that's over there, the baseball pavilion dugouts, softball dugouts, the maintenance bus barn, that was $131,000. It is a Duralast roof, like our other roofs. Our other roofs have been Duralast, and the elementary is as well. It's a 20-year roof warranty. What else can I tell you? I reached out to the insurance company again today to ask, can you give me an update on this? Because as soon as I got the bid on Monday, I sent them what we had, which would have been 1. sent it to them and asked them to expedite looking at this and give us a determination, because it's gonna take time, and it's gonna take time for them to mobilize, and it's been really wet lately. It's only gonna get worse. So they, I forget what exactly he said. I don't think they were too shocked at the price. I think they were glad to know that we had bid it out. He actually told me that. I'm glad you did, because then companies are gonna put pencil to paper a little more, a little more scrutiny than they would if they know it had not been out to bid. So they were happy to hear that. So they weren't shocked by anything that I gave them. Initially, the quote was somewhere in the 1.5 million, and I kind of told the insurance company that's kind of where Century was telling us it's going to be, and they once again they weren't really shocked that it was going to be that. So they're currently looking over this proposal, this bid, and making sure that everything is there that they need, and they hope to get back with me tomorrow. But my recommendation would be that the board accepts this pending insurance approval. It needs to be done. It needs to be done quickly. And we're running out of time for them to mobilize to get ready, because they want to be able to do this in the summertime. They think that it's going to take 3 months probably for them to be here. So best guess is they can get going quickly to mobilize, get things ordered, and get started as quickly as possible, and then be done hopefully by the time school starts. But it just depends on how quick that they can get going. This is a lot of square footage, and I don't think it says here how many square foot it is, but it's a lot. We're talking about over the gyms, both gyms, auxiliary gym, main gym. It's the whole high school, but not the middle. This part wasn't affected, doesn't have any damage. Elementary was looked at, didn't seem to have any damage, but we do have some roof leaks over there. There's probably 3 or 4. I don't know if it's from, I don't know what that's from, but Jamie and I met or talked with the Century guy today and let him know, and he'll send somebody out to look at it. So there didn't appear to be any damage in the elementary, but each area, each location has a $100,000 deductible. So $100,000 deductible here, and then if there's any damage in the high school, we turn the insurance, it's gonna be another $100,000. They're connected to the high school. That should be a location, high school, so it should be a location.
Kathy, did you see that Tecton weighed in on
Yes,
this?
yes. So initially I wasn't sure what to do, because I thought, oh my gosh, how am I gonna make the scope of work? How am I supposed to figure out the scope of work? I don't know. So I was trying to reach out to Tecton to ask, and they didn't give me a lot. And so Carl was here the other day, and I shared this with him and asked his thoughts on it. And he also felt kind of comfortable with the price, and Century. So we do a lot of work with Century. They've always been good to us. They've been responsive to us as construction managers. He knows the sales manager, Dan Fowler, I think is his name, has been the district sales manager for a while. So there's a relationship we have with them that Carl also has with them. And Carl told me we needed to do was take take the scope of work, call and talk to Dan, and just make sure we understand exactly what he's bidding out here. So we did that today. So I had a copy of that. Jamie and I just sat and just asked him questions. Okay, what's the mill? What's the warranty? Does it cover this? What about the new canopy? Jamie asked some really good questions. We're really glad to have Jamie. But Carl suggested we do that. So I think we've got a lot of bang for our buck protect on this side. But anyway, I think he felt comfortable with this as well.
There's an alternate in here for, it looks like for putting Duralast over the metal instead of replacing
Yes,
them.
yes,
Correct.
yes. And that was his suggestion, only because it's going to be more cost effective. It's going to be easier to do, and it's just going to be, it's a better process than replacing the metal. That's his suggestion.
They don't have to take the metal off, right?
No, they're putting it right over, because you have a little flyer in here. There's a flyer in here that shows you what they're going to do. That's the metal roof, and it's going to go over the top.
These are all deduct prices?
If you decide not to, but that
would
price,
be a deduct, yes.
that price includes,
because they don't
going
have to
over
take
that
that
dirt
metal.
last.
And the reason I brought up Tecton was, maybe they would have some kind of opinion on which way to go on that, because I would whether to replace the metal or put this over top of. That's a decision that's gonna have to be made.
I have no experience in that metal
Okay.
You're supposed to know all this
EPDM
stuff.
line roofs.
I think what we talked with Dan from Century was, it's more cost effective. There's some other reasons, I don't have that with me, but they would recommend that we do that. And I guess you just kept referring us back to the flyer, the flyer I just shared with you. It talks about the leaking, eliminates leaks that might happen between like the seams of the metal, there's no rusting, there's no gaps. It's a continuous.
Seems like they would know, but concern would be putting this liner over metal, that be sure.
There's,
Looks like
you
there's
could
like
show,
They put
yeah, there's stuff.
foam thing
There's
over it.
some kind
It
of
filled in the valley
Insulation
with
layer,
foam board.
yeah.
insulation stuff, license to.
I wonder if we could, if they could perhaps give us some contacts of other places that have done that over top of that and see what they think of the longevity of that.
Is this a roof that is seen? Is it pitched?
I believe so.
And it's a low pitch.
Which is this on? Is this
Well,
on, is this on one of the?
It's on the
I think
gym.
you have to get way back to see it, don't you?
Yeah.
You'll probably have to stay over and where buses park the elementary to see it.
It's
If
pretty
you
good
get
pitch.
that.
I have to see it.
It's not
I
that
don't think
bad.
it's a
It's not that
good
bad.
Is it both gym? That's just
Like
one.
a regular building?
Just the main gym. I think it's just the main gym.
Is it same as that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would cover it.
Is this the
No,
exact
the
same
metal
email? I
background.
thought there was project listed that we did. You guys know.
Because.
Yeah, they're on the first page, right?
Yeah.
What you're saying.
I don't know, but to say that it's more cost effective, and if this is okay by the insurance company, it is, then that would make no difference to us. We've got to pay the 100,000, no matter what. They'll pay the rest. So even we would save the 137,000, that's not us saving that. That's the insurance company saving that. That's true. So I think we should make the decision that's best. Long term, whatever that is.
Gravel up here, down.
I don't,
I don't know.
I'd still put a metal roof. I'd take the metal roof off.
Yeah,
and put it back
that's
on.
good.
Yeah,
That's a good question.
because my guess is, unless it was bad metal, it just dented it. I'll bet it didn't take the paint off of it. I just did it
Because normally they put a ballast on that, don't they? A little bit.
on the Citric, yeah.
So how would you
Yeah,
put that ballast on a?
On a grade,
It's
steady.
That's,
Yeah, I kind of agree with you guys.
you forget,
The best option regardless of cost.
It seems it would.
Gives you, like, people think we're paying 100,000 for us, doesn't matter to us.
But I can see if Century has other businesses or contacts that have put that duralast with metal and see if there's any.
Any advantage.
Did anybody mention why this roof's not effective?
Yeah, I was curious,
Roof's
you know,
not
I was,
effective.
I don't
That
think
doesn't seem right.
that thing, it popped in my head, but I didn't
I
forget.
don't think
forgot
it's as
to ask.
old as the high school, and the elementary is brand new. So the elementary didn't have any divots, but the high school did. This one's not as old.
So, I don't understand why it's- So it's like break down over time?
Probably, yes.
DPN breaks down over time.
Yes. And really,
Jeff, I
when
think
we
this
look
one-
at the roof history, that one was
Isn't
easier to
that
replace here
old
2 or 3 years
because-
anyway.
So it's getting to the end of its life.
It
But
is.
when was the last time you did the high school?
So we're actually-
Yes, we are.
Did we do this month when we did
Should be real well.
the other
Next several years.
800,000? Didn't we?
I believe so.
Get it done? I think so, yeah.
You're right, because this would have been a model, it would have been.
So, yeah, it's
We
not
had
but
to take $2 million.
less than 10 years old. This repair, I think. If we did it when we did the secure entrance and everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when, what's the last, took it better.
I should say the timing on that one was just perfect. Because we were just talking, in 2 or 3 years, it would need to be replaced. And it would have been $2 million.
Oh,
Out of our
yes.
pocket.
So we're gonna
We
put,
count our blessings.
We're gonna pay $100,000.
Yes, yes. The insurance is gonna go up.
Yeah.
It's significantly, I don't know how much, but it's gonna go up. Quite a bit, but it is what it is. I mean, it is what it is.
It's not gonna go up $1 million.
Okay.
so you guarantee that?
So,
Yeah, I
but
will hear.
to go back to that, so the high school and all these outbuildings are the same $100,000.
Yes,
Yeah, I for sure get it
yes,
replaced.
yes, I agree.
Any other discussion on that? Seeing none, all in favor?
Of the motion as it is pending insurance.
Pending insurance approval. Approving, yep. Yep, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. I need a motion for nonprofit bus rental for Madairyville Assembly of God, April 25th, 2026.
So,
Take a second. I'll make that motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, all.
What is a non-profit?
They're nonprofits. I just name it that way so that it's not like it's not like Joey
I
down the
mean, we're still
road.
paying rent, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Same sign. Passes. Need a motion for the teacher appreciation grant distribution.
And as you may, we've talked about before, state of Indiana has changed how they do tag or distribute tag grants, teacher appreciation grants. It's no longer, not all teachers are eligible for that. It has to be a process where it's, teachers submit information and it's, there's a rubric that we've used to determine those who are awarded that grant or not. There were 8 teachers who submitted their grant applications by that January 2nd deadline. So we had a committee of those who aren't eligible to receive it. So it'd be like myself, Mike Carlson, Mr. Walsh, Marcy Kennedy, and Lindsay, that determine who is eligible. And so there are 6 teachers, actually there are 3 in each building, that we're recommending be awarded a grant. Total amount that West Central was awarded was $23,117.53. I'd like to recommend that each teacher is awarded a successful grant to be paid of $3,500 as a one-time tag grant fulfillment of the grant. If there's not enough money from the DOE, then we request permission to take the difference from our education fund.
Any question? We've been awarded that amount of money. And we're not guaranteed that amount. Because 3,500 times 6 is less than it was.
I was gonna ask that question,
Yeah.
why we would have to take from the fund.
We may not have to, but, so we need to figure out if we're going to do, add, so we have to also pay insurance, or not insurance, teacher retirement and taxes also need to come out of that money. So it might be close, it may not be, but
So even though we're under by,
we might, yeah, it's gonna be close, it's gonna be close. And then whatever you don't spend, you have to send back. If it's over, then
So you're saying that the debt is gonna be 3,500?
we'll work on the math to figure that out. We'll try to get as much as possible. And if we can use all of it, we might as well give it to them instead of sending anybody back to the DOE.
It's just gonna continue this way.
Unless legislators change it.
Crap.
I know
Oh,
it
it's
is.
crap.
I know,
That's not fair to everybody.
I know. And you know, the hard part too is that they put this all out there and said, okay, here's the process, and there are 3 different tiers, 7,500, 5,000, 3,500. But they don't give us, and they ask you like roughly, it can go along to no more than like, they give us a percentage, like for us it was only gonna be like 9, 10 at the most. So even if you do the math, 10 times 7,000, 70,000, they wouldn't have given us enough money to even give everybody the top money, you know what I mean?
I know, I say it's.
So
it's-
you're still gonna
Brother,
lose,
it's
and
crap.
even if you're gonna have to come up with the difference, I mean. you should
And I
come
could
up
have
with
told the
difference.
teacher that we're gonna apply for that before it even happened. You know who's gonna get the money. Just- It's not good, it's not good at all.
I agree.
Any other discussion? None, all in favor? Say aye. All opposed?
Aye.
Okay, Mr. Carlson. How's your time?
Okay, March was a very quick month. I started out with juniors taking the SAT test. Middle school student council went shopping for the donations to the Pascagoula Animal Shelter. For the third 9 week, 78% of middle school students met the behavior and academic goals to attend a movie at ISIS Theater, enjoy pizza at the park. The high school students had 70% reach the same goals to choose a lemonade from the life skills coffee cart. During professional development time, we worked on updates to the handbook, artificial intelligence policy, and discussed new legislation that will impact us next year. The new cell phone guidelines has had the most attention with that. The bell about no cell phones at all now next year. So we'll have to work on how we're going to implement that. The band had a great month. Middle school earned 2 gold ratings at ISMA. For solo and ensemble contests at the district level, the high school earned 11 gold and 9 solo awards. At the state level, 1 trio and 2 solos competed, earning a gold and 2 silvers. The girls basketball team shined on and off the court this year. They earned academic all-state as a team. To be recognized, the team needed an unweighted GPA average of 3.5. Our team was 3.95, and their weighted average is 3.42. So, yeah. Mrs. John's CNA class again had 100% pass the certification test. This was the 4th year in a row for 100%. The week before break was very busy. It began with the middle school wrestling team being conference champions. Then 12 members were inducted into the National Junior Honor Society, and another 12 inducted into the National Honor Society. Students enjoyed an assembly by Attaboy. It was a very engaging program for them. They really enjoyed it. The week wrapped up with the annual sports spectacular. After much fun and great competition, juniors came out on top. Now we're preparing for the final checkpoint test this Sunday.
What was that part about the cell phones, Mike?
So the last reading, I assume Governor Braun signed it, but, so like currently, they're not allowed in the classroom, or a teacher can allow it for educational purposes. But the new law is nothing, because like now they can check it at passing period and have it at lunch. Now it's not, no passing periods, no lunch, and unless it's a IEP or some other, reason for the phone in the classroom, they have to use a school issued device, no phone for educational purposes.
So does that mean locker only, or?
Well, I don't, it may have to be like a secure location type thing, because if we just let them have them in their lockers as now,
That's
like-
period, yeah.
it's just so obvious. Now they think they're being slick. They're using a hall pass and going and checking their phone,
Oh,
at their locker, type
So
thing.
some things had to change.
Yes, exactly, yes. And, it extends to smartwatches, if that's got cellular data, they can't have a smartwatch. Things too. It's going to be a huge time consuming thing, I think, too.
So basically just have a locker when they come to the door, put it in there.
Possibly, or they've got pouches in their room now, but that Angie bought years ago when she was trying to do it, but I don't know whether it'd be secure enough either.
I mean, they'd have them during passing period. They
That's
take
what I
out
was
one,
gonna say,
take
they gotta
the
have
next
each-
one.
Yes, or if it stayed in first period even, there's no guarantee that there's eyes on that all day long too, so they won't buy and take someone's phone or something too, so. Yeah, so, not sure what we're doing with it. We've front loaded the kids and gave them a heads up, and it's not on us, it's coming from the state, and it's multiple states around the country that do the same thing.
It's a good lesson for them. We sometimes have to follow laws we don't like.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Some places and schools are even implementing, going back, like, no Chromebooks at all, everything's back to
Oh.
pencil paper, and there's a district in Texas, and I couldn't read it, I tried to click on it yesterday, and one in New York's doing the same thing, but it's one of those articles, you have to be a subscriber, if you don't read it, so. So,
It's not a bad thing sometimes.
yeah, not at all.
Okay, Elementary, Mrs. Ball's class won for the Coins for Kids winners, so she had a pizza party today. We had one perfect IREAD score in second grade, for the second grader, so next month, we'll recognize, I called that parent yesterday, today. So they're aware they're gonna be here next school board meeting. So I share this with the teachers as well, so 60% of our second graders passed IREAD. The state average is 49%. Of that. Average score for the state is 437 on the test. Our average score was 458. Above the state average. For third graders, third graders, and then some fourth and maybe a fifth or sixth grade student, 60% of our third graders passed IREAD compared to the state average of 49%. Still performing a good chunk above them. Average score across the state is 434, and our average score was 460. So still well above.
So does that basically mean the same kids that failed second grade, most of them failed third grade?
If you don't pass it in
it's
second, you
interesting.
have to pass it in third.
But it's interesting
Yes.
that it's the same percentage for second and third.
Yes.
That's kind of interesting. You'd think it would get higher as it goes. Like for second and third.
We have 32 kindergartners as of roundup, so as of right now it's 32, so hopefully we have more. We have seventh grade teachers that are coming over next week to talk to sixth graders, so a couple different days. So the goal is there just to kind of talk about the opportunities that are available to kids as seventh graders, to hopefully get them excited about what's going to happen next year. We're going to try and plan some grade level visits next month. It is next month, which should be May. We have a talent show that'll be taking place in May, so we have some kids that have been doing tryouts. We had one tryout before spring break. There's another tryout next week, and so it's really kind of interesting to see kids' unique talents that they have. April 20th, we have the high school band coming over to elementary to get them pumped up for iLearn. April 24th is an early release, and we're going to be doing an evacuation to our secondary location, which is the Apostolic Church. So I told the elementary staff about that, and so we'll send some information out to everybody else about that, but that's our plan for that. 27th of April is our book fair and family literacy night from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. This is Wenzel has prepared lots of activities for that, and so we hope that lots of parents participate in that. My other job. So we talked a little about insurance. Insurance is supposed to get back to me after they review the bids. So like I said, that they weren't really scared about the number. So I'm hoping that won't have a problem doing anything with that. Talking about the evacuation drill. I would remind that ISBA April 7th in Merrillville at the Chateau is our next opportunity. If any board members want to go, I can still sign you up if you want to go. So it's an hour behind us. It starts at 5:30, so which would be 6:30 for us. I think that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Carlson. Thank you, Dr. Rowe. I have a motion to approve payroll and claims.
So moved, Mr. President.
Thanks, John. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. You said you could just this on here, this here. Okay.
Christine, sign up on the top.
Okay. Yeah, it's that.
Yes, it's the 7th. So there you go.
6:30 our time.
What day?
Tuesday. I think there are two signed up, Sean and Jake.
Question on claims?
Yeah, discussion, yeah.
The stage crew, that got out of the construction project, we had enough money to do
I believe so.
that. 8703.
Yeah, because we were touching the 0700 is construction, and so it came out of there. There will still be, when we're finished, probably $300,000 or $400,000 left, $200,000 or $300,000 left. So there's still money in there for furniture or other things that were related to anything that we did. So it could be new cafeteria tables, it could be things, anything along those lines. We did do an add-on to the breezeway. If you walk through the breezeway now, there's a small little heater right above one of the benches. It's kind of white. There's a little knob. So we had worked through Tacton to install that. I guess my concern is that kids could get caught in there waiting for practice. Because once you go out, you can't get back in there. So sometimes kids wait for someone to pick them up. And it's really cold because there's no heat. It's really cold. You walk very quickly to get from one end to the other. So at least it's not meant to heat the space, but at least take the chill. And if you get stuck in there, you could always sit underneath there and you would have heat above you. And then they worked on replacing the light at the canopy. Up until like a week ago, you couldn't tell if you drove through at night or in the morning that it said West Central, because it says West Central and then it's Trojans. So now it shines up there and you do see the West Central Trojans, just so that you can see what it is.
I
believe so, yeah.
Did you say we are getting?
A little bit, it's not to heat the space, it's just to keep it from freezing to death.
There's no
Still not
plans to
finished.
heat it though?
There's no insulation there, it's just, yeah, yeah. Yeah. It's just meant to keep somebody from. Sometimes kids go over to for like band or something, or they're going back and forth or whatever, and somebody forgets to let them in, and they're gonna be staying there sometimes, and
Any other discussion? Everyone good?
I did like the, I had that, I liked it.
it's been doing very well.
So thanks for trying to keep up with that.
Whatever button you have to push.
I just had to do that this week, yes. You'd be surprised how many, it's very technical. It's very like, it's computers, it's based on a lot of computers. And so sometimes it's resetting this and then calling John or FaceTiming John. And then he'll have to show him what it looks like. And he'll say, okay, that button's red. So we're going to turn this off and turn it off again. So I have to throw a switch and then throw it back on again, little bitty switch. And then pretty soon you hear clunk, clunk, and then you know it's moving. And then it gets going again. I don't know, sometimes it just gets stuck or it's a power surge or who knows what happens, but
Appreciate that. We need to go against payroll. All in favor of payroll and claims, say aye. Aye. All opposed, so. Any other business? Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank
you.
Yeah, I know.
What is that?
Yeah, in 2 years.
I'm not seeing
That will be.
Well, I moved them out. It's a completely different room.
Maybe